Hello, Yellow Army, and welcome back to another interview here on Official TUFC. As you can see today, I'm delighted to be joined by Kyle Cameron. How are you doing, Kyle?
Good, thank you.
Okay, well, we'll crack on then. So, Kyle, if I can just start, how do you see, in your own perspective, the season and how it's gone so far?
I think we can probably all agree that majority of the season has gone really well. We started off really well, and then obviously the past few games we haven't picked up as many points as what we would have liked. But I think every team goes through a little rough patch in a season, so I would rather us have that little rough patch now than sort of have it in the run-in for the end of the season. So I think on a whole, I think everyone's happy. Obviously, we're top of the league still. Teams have still got games to play who could potentially catch us. But until then, points are on the board. We're still in pole position.
Yeah, because like you said, there are games in hand, but it is a case of this season, perhaps like any other, it's great to have those points already on the board, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Like you'd rather have the points on the board than have the two games in hand, because you never know what's going to happen, especially in this league. I think it's been proven that anyone can beat anyone on a given day. So it all just depends on how they perform in them two games or three games that they've got in hand, and see how it goes really.
And Carl, like you say, I mean, largely it has been so positive. You can't get much better than being top of the league, and obviously we're in the quarterfinals of the trophy as well. I mean, has that surprised you and the rest of the United squad how well it's gone so far?
Not really. I think we sort of come in with aspirations of winning the league this season, as we did last season, and we sort of had that good start last year, and it kind of tailed off towards the end. But we expect the same every year. Do you know what I mean? We're a team that's very young and very ambitious. We come into games wanting to win games, and obviously Gaffer sets us up to win football matches. So for us to have the sort of the run that we've had and where we are on the table, I don't think it is a surprise. Not in the camp anyway. For me, especially, I feel like with the group of players that we've got and the quality that we've got in the squad, and that's where we should really be.
Now, you mentioned this little dip in form, but one thing that actually has happened during this spell is that the defensive record has actually been really good. I mean, if you look at the last 7 games, there's been 5 clean sheets during that time. What do you think's been behind that improvement during that spell?
I'm not sure really. We've defended really well all season. I think as a back four, as an 11, really, we've defended really well. And I just think we haven't had that luck that we've needed to get clean sheets. Like, for example, the thing that springs out top of my head is the Bournemouth game at home, a game that we probably should have a clean sheet. And if you look at their goal, it's sort of a lucky one-off goal that wouldn't happen again. So things like that have happened through the season where we haven't had that luck. But the last few games we've defended really well, as we have done, like I say, all season. But we have had that little bit of luck that we've needed, and that resilience in defending the goal, and obviously getting some good results along the way with them clean sheets.
It must be pleasing though, that even if the results aren't quite flowing as easily as they were earlier this season, though, that the team are still keeping clean sheets in the main, and they're still showing that fighting spirit. Like, you've only got to look at the last game against Wealdstone, where Billy Waters managed to come with that late equaliser.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me as a defender, I'm always going to be happy with a clean sheet, and I'm going to feel as if sort of my job's half done there. But yeah, I think the goals, they're going to come back. I mean, earlier in the season we had 4s and 5s going in every other week, it seemed like, and I think that they will start to come back in the next few weeks. We're working hard in training. We're still doing the same things day in, day out. But like I said, the dip in form's always going to come in a season, and hopefully we're sort of through that dip now. We're back on the upside over the next coming weeks, and hopefully put a few past the teams coming up.
It could be, like you say, Carl, that the team responds to this little break with a vengeance again, because the last couple of times we've had breaks, there was the game where we came and hit 6 against Yeovil, and then there was the time where we beat Bournemouth in the trophy 4-0. So hopefully that will be proven again. Now, there's been times this season, Carl, where you've been actually the most experienced member of the back line. How's that felt?
Good. I do see myself as an experienced player, considering I'm only 24. So I mean, I've played a lot under the gaffer, and I've got a lot of experience on him and Downsy from the coach and stuff. So um, I always just take them in my stride, and I try and take everything like in my stride, like I say. And it's good to be the most experienced one and try and help the lads around me. Um, but yeah, I think it's good. Obviously, with being so young, having that experience, it's only going to like stand me in good stead for the future, and obviously, hopefully, I can help the lads that are around me as well.
And of course, the last time that we won a league title in National League South, there wasn't too many injuries. Got perhaps there's a bit of luck involved in that, but you had two major partnerships with John and Jamie. This season, obviously, is it more challenging when you've got players that either side of you, whether it's be at left back or in centre of defence, where those people are changing? Does that make it a bit more difficult?
Um, Sometimes it can, but a lot of the time it's just down to myself and sort of focusing on my game. And if I do my job well, then it hopefully impacts people around me as well, and also helps them do their job well. But do you know what I mean? We've got Moxie who comes in at left back, plays there all the time. He's very experienced, played in the Premier League. You've got Gaz and Shez who have sort of rotated in the centre half position due to injuries. So we've got a lot of quality in there, and we've maybe got a little bit more quality than what we have had in the previous years in sort of defence. So I think whoever sort of played there this year has put a good shift in and have really like stepped up and then put in the performances that we've needed. So it hasn't been too much of a problem.
Now, it's not necessarily a new thing because you filled the void before, but when Asa is obviously unavailable, you are the man that puts on the armband. Do you feel any extra responsibility when you do that, or is it something that you take in your stride?
I think it's just something I take in stride. I think whether I wear the armband or not, I try and sort of be a leader on the pitch in all games, whether that's Asa playing or not. So for me, not a lot changes really, apart from wearing the armband. You know what I mean? I try and lead the defence as well as I can, and obviously with me being at the back, I can see a lot of things that are happening on the pitch for a lot of the games. So organising and being vocal is obviously a big part of my game anyway. So it's kind of something that's an extra bonus for me being captain at times. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's just another thing of taking it in my stride and just kind of going on as normal, really.
Now, whereas in the past couple of seasons, the majority of the goals that the team has scored have come from the front men, this time this season, goals have come from different people throughout the side. You yourself have actually notched 4 goals already. Have you set yourself a target at all, Carl?
Yeah, I always set myself targets for a season. Do you know what I mean? And having 4 halfway through, do you know what I mean? It'd be nice if I could get another 4 and get 8 in total this season, something like that. But do you know what I mean? It's important for everyone to spread the goals out during throughout the team. It's it can't just be like a one-man band scoring 30, 40 goals or whatever it is. I mean, everyone's got to sort of chip in and do their bit. So it is good to see everyone sort of chipping in with goals, and especially getting a lot more goals from set plays, which in a lot of games set plays do win you games. So to see everyone chipping in is obviously nice, and for me to chip in with 4 already, it's obviously a bonus for me as well.
It must take some of the pressure off the central strikers, doesn't it? When because it's not that the goals are going to just come from one source. I suppose you must have nearly perfected that Alan Shearer celebration now, haven't you?
Yeah, I think that's just my natural reaction when I score, to sort of throw the arm in the air. Like I say, I probably don't score that many, so whenever I've scored this season, it's sort of been a nice relief to get another goal and sort of wheel away with my arm in the air. It's always nice, puts a smile on my face.
I mean, the goal you got against Altrincham, where you were actually on the deck at the time, you looked as surprised as anybody when it ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah, well, I headed it off of them, come back to us, I've kicked it off the keeper, and I've somehow didn't even see the ball. I just sort of felt it with my foot and sort of scooped it in the back of the net. So I think I was more surprised when all them were complaining for something. So I was looking around and thinking, our referee's gonna sort of crumble and give something here when the amount of people there are complaining about something. So I was just sort of happy to see it go in the net, and obviously the referee to give the goal.
But I mean, obviously, you've mentioned you got 4 goals already. You could have actually had a even more, couldn't you? Because the team is creating so many chances.
Yeah, no, definitely. I could have had probably 10 by now if I had been able to finish my dinner. But so I mean, it's my job sort of keep the goals out of our net rather than put them in the other one. So keeping clean sheets for me is obviously the main thing, and then if I get more goals, then it's a bonus as well. So hopefully I can keep getting on the end of things and getting more goals.
That sounds good to us. I'm sure we'll to the Yellow Army. And just before we go, Carl, with the team obviously still doing so well at the top of the National League and the quarterfinals of the FA Trophy, do you have a message for the Yellow Army ahead of the second half of the season?
I think just keep up the support that they've been given really this season. The support's been brilliant. Obviously, they can't be there in flesh, but they're obviously watching the streams and sort of giving us tweets and stuff to say well done and keep going and stuff like that. So I think obviously now we're top of the league, we're quarterfinals of the cup. It's all looking positive still. So I think just sort of stick with us, keep supporting us, and hopefully we can maybe do a double. That would be nice, I think.
That would be very nice. I think that will go down in history very well, Carl, and especially if you grab a few more goals along the way.
Definitely.
Brilliant, Carl. Thank you for taking the time to join us today, and the very best of luck against Halifax on Saturday. And to you, Yellow Army, thank you for watching the video, and take care, keep safe. We'll be in touch again very, very soon.
Thank you.